So with the impending government shutdown probably going to happen at the end of the day today, this is a really good opportunity for me to talk about what it looks like to kind of just go with the flow of the energies, the timing of astrology, working with what is happening rather than working against it, and really looking at your purpose and who you are as an individual. So the reason the shutdown brings this up is because Pluto just made its last square to my natal Venus as of 2 days ago. When it made the first square back in February, I ended up quitting my job shortly after. I worked as a contractor in construction on a federal contract, okay? I would be getting furloughed if I was still working under a government shutdown. I would have been losing my job either way. Now, granted, yes, I could have stayed there. I could have leaned into my Pluto midheaven conjunction and my 10th house Scorpio placements in the negative manner of Scorpio. I could have gotten petty and sneaky and played the little games. I could have done that. I was really tempted to. In fact, I kind of sort of started to before I realized that that's just not for me. I left that person in the past 20 years ago, and I really don't want to bring that person back. So instead, I ended up making the decision that I was going to leave. I removed myself from the situation, okay? Now, prior to that first square from Pluto to my natal 10th house Scorpio Venus, there was some other things building starting in the August prior between my progressions and the eclipse that happened on exactly conjunct my midheaven, along with me entering an 8th house perfection year, which is ruled by Leo, so that's like self-transformation. So the writing was already on the wall prior to Pluto squaring my Venus, but I still could have gone the shady way if I wanted to. I still could have played games. I still could have, been out here destroying people's lives if I wanted to. I'm actually really good at it. I just don't like doing it. It doesn't sit well with me in my, in my soul. It's just not right. So instead, I decided to quit. I went in to work and I sent out an email, gathered my stuff, and I left. And so for that first half of this time period, it's been 10 months, the first half, that first 5 months of it, I was on an emotional roller coaster between the first square to my Venus and the second square when Pluto was retrograde. I was all over the place. I sent text messages that I didn't have any business sending. Granted, no regrets. If I said it, I meant it. I just probably shouldn't have said it. But it was emotional. It was intense. It was a lot of things that I had to face. I would not have been able to face those things if I hadn't left the situation. I would not have been able to do that healing work and sit with those emotions and feel them and process them and get through all of the 8 years of trauma that had been holding me back if I had not left the situation. The second half, since the last square to my Venus, has been on the upswing. I've been sober. I've been making progress forward. I've been able to listen to my intuition better. It's been far more clear than it used to be. I've had a few days here and there. We all have rough days from time to time, but for the most part, I've actually been in a pretty good place. Now, could I have been banking money this whole time? Absolutely. Am I flat broke now? Yes, I am. But it was needed, it was necessary to get me to this point where those that have been fighting what's going on and this complete collapse that we're starting to see, they're gonna need people who have already processed everything to help get them through it, right? And this has positioned me in that place where I can do that. I've gone through the process and now I can help other people work through that process as well. This is what it looks like to work with the energies. It's not easy, right? Especially when you have societal expectations and you got to pay your bills and all of that stuff. It's not an easy process, but it does bring big rewards in the long run, and it helps you find a place where you're good in yourself. It helps you find a place where you can process things easier or better. You can move forward with things that are meant for you instead of continuously trying to chase the things that everybody else expects you to have. So that's really helping me personally on my process of using my Plutonian and Scorpio 10th house energy to help others process those difficult times and do that transformational work and that shadow work versus me using it to play petty games and do power struggles and be destructive, because quite honestly I am a walking tower moment between that Pluto midheaven conjunction and my Mars ascendant conjunction, and being a Capricorn rising. I have the ability to create destruction in places. I just don't want to. It's just not, it doesn't make me feel good about myself. It could make me a lot of money. It could put me in a lot of really great positions. I just don't feel good about doing it that way, right? So I followed where I needed to go. Either way it went, I was gonna end up losing my job either way. You know, essentially I could have fought it, but I'd still be in a position where I'm gonna lose my job, but I wouldn't be in a healed place when I got here. It was gonna happen either way. So that's kind of just what it looks like to work with the energy and work with the timing and be patient and understanding and actually do the work on yourself.